Hello everybody, I'm Brian from Orchids by Brian, and welcome to my May What's in Bloom in the Orchid Grow Tent. This is a really interesting month. I have some super cool, just very different orchids to show you than what I typically have. A lot of new stuff blooming for me for the first time. Lots of Angraecums, Masdevallias, Bulbophyllums, Restrepia, Pleurothallis, Laelias. So you're in for a treat. It's going to be a great tour. So let's check out what I have in bloom. All right, so I am going to start right here. This is my Restrepia royi, or royi, and it is a beautiful orchid I picked up from Andy's Orchids in California. This is a first time bloom for me, and I'm going to do something different, cut to some videos of the flowers, higher quality imagery of the flowers. So this is Restrepia royi. It tends to grow intermediate for me. Pretty easy grower actually in a grow tent. It definitely needs its humidity, but it grows really well, and I love the little flowers. So much that I bought another one in the back there. It's a Restrepia purpurea, but not in bloom right now. And then I have two others I ordered from Equigenera. So you'll have to wait and see those when they do bloom, but really cool flower. Next is my Pleurothallis mystax. This guy has bloomed for me a couple of times. This is the first time I've had two flowers on at once. This is a really cool orchid. I really like the leaves, and it hasn't been too difficult for me to grow and bloom. So it tends to like my my growing space, which is of course grown intermediate, sometimes warm, but usually right on the intermediate line. So really fantastic plant. This right here is a very cool orchid ally, as I call it. This is a Sphaerospirillum buxifolium, or a blue neotropical blueberry. And I fell in love with these plants when I was at Andy's Orchids in California, and I've been on the hunt for the blue version of the Sphaerospirillum buxifolium. I have the white berry. This one has the actual blueberries, and unfortunately not fruiting right now, but I will definitely show that when it does. I'm super excited to have this plant in my collection. Back here is my Cattleya ceratostoloides. Wow, what a mouthful. Floridis. And that's in bloom for me. One last flower. You can see that little flower there. It's just one more left. The little stragglers for the month, but really reliable bloomer, and excited to feature that one last time. Now right here is one that I did highlight a couple of months back. It is a free-flowering Pleurothallis, Pleurothallis praecipua. And this must be its blooming season, its full blooming season, because there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 flowers on this guy, and you can see a couple of them are open. Some of them are really close, and they'll be opening any day now. But really, really trusty Pleurothallis, and it grows like a weed. I mean, it just puts out new growth after new growth after new growth, which, you know, is always a plus for plant growers. So love this plant. Now back there is perhaps what I am most excited about. That is my Bulbophyllum zagreus, God of Blood. And this is an absolutely phenomenal Bulbophyllum hybrid that I picked up from my pal Jeff at In Situ Orchids. Jeff has amazing plants. I cannot stress that enough. I purchased this beautiful Bulbophyllum from Jeff and another Bulbophyllum beforehand, and he actually was able so kindly to throw in cuttings of that Sphaerospirillum buxifolium, the white berry, since I missed out on my opportunity to get one of his rooted plants. So I had some success, and I wanted to take some time to thank Jeff for this absolutely beautiful plant and all of the other plants I've bought from him. He is a great seller. Check him out on eBay, In Situ Orchids. Now right here, another month bloomer for me right now. This is my Masdevallia Gold Dust Romeo. Check out the flower on this guy. I love the hairs on this Masdevallia. It tends to grow a little bit more warmth tolerant, which is great, because a lot of Masdevallias are cool growers, and a lot of growers have a hard time keeping them alive or blooming, and this one has grown warm, taking sometimes greenhouse temperatures up to 90 degrees. So really great hybrid. And another exciting addition to the collection, and it's also fragrant. It has a fragrance like a banana boat sunscreen. So really cool flower. And picked this guy up on my most recent trip to Pleurothallis, and it's a quality plant. So really exciting. This right here is my Masdevallia Angel Heart Ellen. It's in bloom still for me, and it has another spike coming. So I'm excited to see a couple more blooms. It's been trusty bloomer for the last couple months, and it's a really fantastic Masdevallia hybrid. Again, also more warmth tolerant for Masdevallias. In the back here, I'm going to cut to a video of the flower open, hopefully before May is done. If not, you're just going to have to look at the plant with that bud that you're going to have to wait to see in June. But this is my Bulbophyllum species. We're thinking it's similar to Stormii, Bulbophyllum Stormii. Purchased from Andy's Orchids, and I'm really excited to see the bloom. It's got a bud that's been sitting there taunting me for so long, and I can't wait for it to finally open. But that is Bulbophyllum Stormii. Now, this Masdevallia opened for me when I was recently on my trip to Florida that I just got back from. This is Masdevallia tuerckheimii, and it is another warmth-tolerant Masdevallia. Related to Floribunda, and it has super pretty flowers. Check out these flowers. They're a little bit difficult to show on the screen here because they grow hanging downward, but super pretty. Oh my gosh, really, really nice flowers. Great Masdevallia tuerckheimii if you're looking for another warmth tolerant plant. Here is my trusty Phragmipedium Wanaukee Sunset, Bestii hybrid that is in bloom still. I think this might be the last flower on this blooming cycle for me, but it's been in bloom for, gosh, I don't even know, 3 months maybe now, so I'm pleased. I could be happy. Any flower, any plant that blooms for 3 months is good by me. So really awesome Phragmipedium. And super compact and very aggressive grower. Check out the new growths. Those 2 new growths, and it has 4 individual growths on this, and that's in the last 6 months since January. So super great Phragmipedium. Now this is a Paph Carolyn Butcher in bud. You're gonna have to wait for the June What's in Bloom to see that one, but I think you're going to be amazed. It is a stunning flower, and I'm super excited to have gotten it to bloom for me, so stay tuned for that. In the back is my Paphiopedilum liemianum in bloom still, and it has another bud coming, actually 2 buds, one about to open and another one along the way. And again, this is a super great sequential blooming Paphiopedilum that I'm so happy to have in my collection. Here is a brand new orchid from my recent trip to Florida. This is Angraecum didieri, and it is a beautifully fragrant Angraecum. My first Angraecum in my collection, and I'm so excited to see how I grow these. I love the little nectar spire there, where the moths in nature would pollinate these plants at night, so they have a gorgeous, delicious night fragrance that's super, super strong, and it's supposed to be pretty easy to grow. So we'll see how it does. And this is another Angraecum, and the name, you'll have to forgive me, is super complicated. I'm going to put it on the screen right now, but it's another gorgeous Angraecum. Grows a lot different than that Didirii, and it has some really cool flowers. I don't think it's going to be in bloom for May, so you'll have to wait till June, but very excited to have this Angraecum in the collection. Okay, now let's come over here and show you this guy right here. This is my Laelia kettiana, I think. I'm not 100% certain that this is actually Laelia kettiana. It might be Laelia fornii, possibly mislabeled, but the flowers nonetheless are beautiful. If you do know Ridiculous Laelia as well, let me know what you think in the comments. But still, whether it's fornii or kettiana, I'm super happy to have this plant in the collection. So beautiful, beautiful plant. Now coming down here, not much in bloom. A couple of things that are going to be blooming next month, I think. This Phragmipedium that I recently picked up from Woodstream Orchids. This is Phragmipedium Carol Kanzer, St. Leonard Creek. So stay tuned for that guy in the next few months. This is my Masdevallia Copperwing. Has 2 flowers coming for June. I did record a video of the blooms, and I'll show you that right now from earlier in May. But really, really reliable bloomer, and it is it's also very warmth tolerant. Actually, when I neglect it and give it a lot of warmth, it just blooms like crazy. So you can't help but love those plants that just seem to like that neglect, and then they just blast off. So gorgeous Masdevallia. Now next to it is my Bulbophyllum biflorum. Unfortunately, when I'm taking this video, which is one of the last days of May, the flowers have already fallen off because it's a bulbophyllum, so they only last about a week. But I will show you a video of the flowers that I took earlier in the month of the biflorum. This is a first bloom for me. I bought this as a cut, or actually I was given this as a gift from Waldor Orchids when I first started growing, because I was interested in bulbophyllums, and have since grown it to be a nice little plant, and it bloomed for me the first time. So really exciting and rewarding to have that. Quite the victory. Now over here, nothing in bloom. I did pick up this gorgeous Phalaenopsis schilleriana, which I'm excited to grow and hopefully have flower from Ritter Orchids in Florida. Again, like I mentioned, or I will mention, I should say, because this will come out before my video of my Florida trip, I was only able to film one nursery tour while I was in Florida because it was just super toasty warm, and I am from New England, so it is I am not used to the heat. Hard enough to handle it in the south where I am. So nonetheless, I did record one video, and I'm excited to show you that. So all right, let's transition over to my Cattleya shelf to show you a few plants over there. Okay, so now I am over at the Cattleya shelf, and as you can see, there's a couple new additions. Some things are mine, some things are going home to my mother. This one, though, however, has been in bloom for quite a few weeks now. This is my Cattleya Little Hazel, and what a reliable bloomer, showing no signs of fading away. It has been in bloom for a while, so I love this little mini Cattleya. It has another growth too coming, and I'm thinking it will also have flowers. So very floriferous and reliable bloomer. My second time blooming this plant this year. All right, and then over here is a brand new orchid, which I won't spoil where it's from. But you'll have to wait because where I got it is the nursery tour that I'm going to release next week. Is where I picked up this beauty, and what a beautiful mini Cattleya. This is RLC Mare Yamasaki Gem, and I love this plant. I think I just gave you all a little sneak peek as to where it is on the tag if you stop and go back, but really cool, gorgeous little flower. I don't have very many white flowers in my collection, so I was excited to add that. And you'll see another one down here. I picked up two. This one's for my mom, so she'll get to see that pretty soon. All right, now this guy right here is a catasetum, not for me, but for Cassidy's mom, and it's a famous one. The Fred Clarkara After Dark Black Pearl SVO. That's right, the black orchid. So excited to see that in bloom when Cassidy's mom blooms it out, but really, really pretty plant. Excited to at least have it in my care for a couple of weeks, but beautiful. And this is the other one that I picked up for my mother. Check out that stunner. I could tell you that the flower is one of the most beautiful parts of this plant, but honestly, it's the fragrance. This hybrid, which is BC Teresa Risi, has Cattleya Aclandii in it, and that is giving off one of the most delicious fragrances I have ever smelled on a Cattleya. My whole room smells so beautifully floral. This is one to look for. So that is one of the Cattleyas that I picked up this weekend also in Florida. And then down here is a Maxillaria tenafolia coconut orchid that I have added to my collection, and it is a really cool little plant. So that's it right now. Lots blooming, lots of green, so stay tuned for more blooms, but let's go check out the display shelf in the living room, and then we'll close it out. All right, heading on over there. All right, and now I am over at my little display shelf in the living room to highlight some of the mostly Paphiopedilums and Phalaenopsis that I have in bloom for this month. So this guy is still in bloom. This is my Paph Olivia Solos Springtime. This Paph blooms for many months, but I do believe that it will be on its way out pretty soon. Last year it only bloomed through Mother's Day, so it's lasting a little bit longer this year, but still one of my favorite Paphiopedilums, my first Paph, and it's growing really well. It's quite a robust plant, and it seems really happy, continues to send up new growths, so I'm excited to have 2 flowers on it this year. Who knows what it'll have next year? Hopefully we'll have even more, and it'll last even longer. So really gorgeous Paphiopedilum. Now, my Paph Zebrina Palawan is still in bloom for me as well. 3 flowers on this guy, and no signs of slowing down or fading. They're really, really pretty, fragrant Phalaenopsis flowers, and it does have another spike, but hasn't produced any buds or anything yet, so might have to wait for these guys to fade before it does that. But still in bloom. Sure, it'll be in bloom for the next couple of months for the What's in Bloom tour, but still worth highlighting. I really like this Phalaenopsis. This guy is on its way out. This is my Paphiopedilum Hainaldianum and species Paph. It is still in bloom. I did get this from a company that imports, and so it's acclimating okay. We'll see how it does, but like many of these plants, sometimes there's a little bit of stress before it really gets used to your environment. So nonetheless, super pretty flower, pretty long lasting for a multifloral. They don't last as long as the novelty paths, but still super, super beautiful. And then I have this guy right here who is sending up its third spike. Let's see if I can get a better view of the flower. Yeah, this flower is much easier to highlight. This is my Shoe Sing Sapphire Phalaenopsis, and really pretty. I love this plant. A lot of the flowers are on its way out, but like I said, it does have one more spike that is just developing its blooms right now, so probably be in bloom for a while. And one thing I love about this is it's almost has these like matte green leaves, which I think is so unique. I've never seen that in a Phalaenopsis before, and the flowers are peloric, which is super cool. I love having the peloric flowers, meaning that the petals, two of the petals, mimic the labellum, which is super neat. So really, really cool. And then coming down here, nothing in bloom or bud right now, just growing, lots of green. This Bulbophyllum, or I should say this Bulbophyllum is in spike, but I feel like it's in spike every single month, so it never stops. So stay tuned for that next month. I'm sure I'll be able to highlight my Bulbophyllum Sunshine Queen yellow once again. Now, coming down here, I have a couple other Phalaenopsis. This is a phal hybrid that I picked up. Don't have a name, but really, really beautiful plant, and it is fragrant, which is neat. So always love good fragrant Phalaenopsis. And then this one, Cassidy, is for her collection. Picked up, and really beautiful plant. Picked it up from Ritter Orchids in Florida. So love this little phal. It's growing well and excited to see more flowers. And then back there is my Young Home Lucky Star, still in bloom. It has been almost a year and it has not stopped. So can't complain about that. What a Phalaenopsis. So super cool. All the plants doing well and blooming well. So with that, I'm going to end the tour there. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Brian from Orchids by Brian, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.